Hello, Southern Soul Tarot fam. I am doing a channeling tonight on Heidi BROUSSARD. I'm doing it tonight on her because the reason why I'm doing it is because it's been now that we know that she's passed, it's been a while, a couple weeks now. So there is no time frame on the other side. So I want to see where she is spiritually there. If she's coming more into accepting a bit of what's happened. But I do have some questions. And again, I want to shout out to Miss Texas SB. So it's a capital M, S, capital T, spell out Texas, capital SB. She is very great at, she's also a YouTube creator. She's very great at collecting the information for me. And she's also kind of clairvoyant, but her ability is a little bit different than mine. So if you get a chance, check out her page and subscribe. But she had some questions and I had some questions we were talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and run through those real quickly. I don't want to keep, staying on the subject too long because I know it's very sensitive for some people still. So, but I do have some questions as far as like where was she exactly killed at. And as I said, this is between her, the questions that are between her and I. Where was Heidi exactly killed at? How many people put her into the car and put her on the property? Was there domestic abuse? And this is my question because I feel like when I look at Shane's energy, I feel a very addictive energy. So also Miss Texas SB wanted me to ask about a tire to the car. I'm not really sure what that's about yet, so hopefully she'll be able to show me a pic. But I do get a clip of Heidi being on the side of the road. Looking at a tire. So I do agree with Miss Texas SB on that. Something was brought up about the tire, and I don't know if they got her out of the car and that's how they got her into the trunk, or if I don't think they would have strangled her on the side of the road. So I think they got her out of the car, maybe just like, oh well, you check the tire, and then they kind of ambushed. And I keep saying they because, like I said, I don't think it. Like, especially people keep bringing up the boyfriend. Well, how could she have lied if the boyfriend knew about it? Like, I mean, obviously, if he was living with her for 9 months and he's seeing her unclothed, he knows she's not pregnant. Like I said, I think it was a trade-off. I think that Megan wanted a baby and Shane didn't want this baby because it wasn't probably his. And like I said, and so I think they traded. I think Megan was like, hey, I'll give you, I'll take the baby and then it'll be right back to the way it was before Heidi had it, so therefore your life will go back to normal and I'll have the baby I always wanted. And I think they were all three in on that. So the last question is how did the baby get in the car with Megan and her after she dropped her son off from school? I'm curious about that. I'm curious where Megan came in along the lines to be able to get her into the car with her. That's why I'm curious if there was a car seat. I looked it up. I have my computer open in case Miss Texas SB has anything else that she wants to inform me on. But I'm curious if Megan already had a car seat in the car and how the baby got into the car with her to begin with to drive, because I still don't believe that she took that baby to the school with her that morning. Even when Shane was talking about it, he made a comment that sorry, I need to check one thing. Okay, so he made a comment that it was her first morning out with the baby. Like, it was the first morning out. It was her first morning out. I don't really remember if it was how many times he said with the baby, but I do notice that I noticed a lot. He said first morning out for her. So that's what makes me feel like the baby never left, and that's why everything was there. So I went ahead and pre-shuffled the cards, and I'm sorry that I rocked this, but again, I just got a fancy camera from my mom and dad for Christmas, so I want to thank them for that. But obviously, I don't know much about actual cameras. So I'm going to be looking into it very soon, and hopefully I will have a setup soon that's not shaky for y'all. So I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I was going to upload the Zodiac Killer yesterday, but I just had some unexpected things take place, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get him done tonight. I feel like the screen looks a little fuzzy. So, okay. So what we're going to do with Heidi is I want to know what Heidi is feeling right now. Well, that's gonna be the last row. But the first row, like I said, it's gonna be mainly be the questions between Miss Texas SB and I. It's gonna be from the time she left the school to the time she met up with her friend. How the baby got in the car. Was there a car seat already in the car? How did she convince her to bring the baby? Certain things like that. Why is there a vision for both her and I? SB6, Miss Texas SB. I'm so sorry. I want to know why we're both seeing like clips of the side of the road. It's almost like you kind of see that like when you're driving in the country of Texas and you kind of see like the straw grass. Like I see a lot of that, and I see her kind of bent over looking at the tire. That's what I see. I'm not sure if that's what Miss Texas SB sees. I just know that she told me there was something with the tire. Like I said, the last row will be how she feels, but like I said again, I'm gonna ask her about how Megan got with her and the baby and why because I don't think the baby left the house that morning. I do not think it. Even in his interview, he says it was her first time leaving the house. He didn't say they. Like, it's like a lot of people aren't catching that. Like, it seems like, or they're trying to ignore it. If you notice a lot of his interviews, he does not say they. He says her. And even when he's referring to Heidi, he doesn't call her Heidi. He, like, when they ask, like, oh, is, Heidi, blah, 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 he's like, oh, yeah, it's my fiance. Wouldn't you say, like, oh, yeah, Heidi's my fiance, oh, yeah, she's my fiance, or we've been together however many years, and this is devastating. No, he goes, yeah, it's my fiance. Like, I don't know. He just seemed like he was on something to me. I don't know if he maybe was uncomfortable, so he took something to try to, like, ease his nerves, but, he over-eased himself. So let's see, I want to pick the first question that goes into. I want to know, how did the baby... I want to know if the baby left the house. Let's start there. Did the baby leave the house that morning? Spirit guide, please tell me if the baby left. No, I don't think he did. And here's why. Because it's the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like there was bickering going that morning before she left the house. And it was over money. And that's why I think he kept talking about money. So, no. I don't think that, let's see. Yeah. I don't think the baby left that morning. I'm sorry to pause. I just want to make sure I'm catching up with my notes here. I want to keep them all kind of together. Like I said, and I've been feeling that energy since the first day that I did the reading on these two. That baby did not leave that morning. It was freezing, to my knowledge. Why would you take a newborn baby out when he was there still? So, I don't know. Let's see, who is watching that baby? Who is watching that baby? I don't I don't need that many cards. I just need one. Who is watching the baby? 2 people. 2 people are watching the baby that morning. So here's what I think happened. I think Megan was at her house when she got there. I think Shane told her he's gone, or she's gone, she's at the school. And they were about to make their decision. Are we going to really, really do this? Or are we going to choose to not? Let's make the decision. This is an action card. And so, yeah, they went ahead and made it. They didn't feel any sympathy. The 5 of Cups. Like I said, again, here is Megan and the baby. And here is Heidi and the baby. And here's Megan and Shane, and I believe Megan's boyfriend. I believe Megan's boyfriend was just as in on it as Shane and her boyfriend, because how else would he have known that she would? I mean, he lives with her. He sees her unclothed while she's getting... Yeah, and so the card that comes out next, and I'm going to go ahead and put this with the 5 of Cups because that's where I was at, is the 6 of Cups. So I think he felt like by handing this baby over to her, he was going to get back the original childhood with Heidi and their children that he thought he had. Now let's see. Let's start with domestic abuse. What happened that morning? Were they bickering and fighting? I think they were bickering and fighting over money. There's the pentacles here again, and there's a lot of pentacles, and they're not pentacles. There are cups here, but MAYGEN is a pentacle. So I don't know. For some reason, I'm kind of feeling like the boyfriend did, or fiance did off and on fool around with her friend MAYGEN. That's the feeling I'm getting with that card. And I think there was domestic abuse. I think he made it sound like she didn't give enough. And yeah, here he is. He's reversed. He's the King of Cups, which means he's basically an asshole. He is full of himself. He's full of his emotions. Everything's about him, not you. He don't want to hear it. And don't complain, basically, is his attitude. So let's see why he is reversed that morning, which shows me that he was also being very verbally abusive with her, because that's what the King of Cups can be. So then you have the World reversed. So this is when he decided, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and set our plan in place. We're gonna kill you. We're not changing it. It's solid. We're going for it. So that's kind of how I feel. He felt like, I'm not putting up with this crap anymore, and if I gotta get rid of you, then I mean, he wanted to get rid of the baby for sure. So I'm thinking he was hoping that by doing the World in reverse, that would happen. So right now, how she feels, she still feels very of much of the Hermit in reverse. So she's coming out of she probably did her life review and went ahead and discussed some of those things with her uppers and the board. You know, there's a board that sits on the other side. And they help explain to you why your life went the way you did and why you chose it that way. And so she had two choices in her life to make. She chose the one that it wasn't so great. She wanted to keep this one, but I think she chose this one. And that's why it's not so sparkly and not so shiny. I want to see also how she feels about the baby. She still feels there's an untemperance about the baby. From when I last heard, the baby is supposed to be given back to the father. But I don't think that the baby should be given to the father. I think that the father needs to be cleared by very many different types of sources. And I mean all kinds of sources. Because there's something not right with him still, and I just don't, he doesn't jive. Like, his story don't jive. And I know that's like a whatever word, but there's something not right about him. Like I said, you just don't do some of the things that he did. I have 2 children, and I don't get it. So let's see why the Ten of Pentacles was reversed that morning for him. Because the World is in reverse. Wait, sorry. The World is in reverse. The World is in reverse because he didn't want to start a new cycle with this. He was done with it, and that's why he has the 2 of Wands underneath it. The 2 of Wands, he was making his decision. He went ahead and contacted MAYGEN and said, "It's go. Like, let's go. It's time to get this on the road." Like, and again, the 5 of Cups comes out. So he's just feeling, he's like a whiny baby, it seems like. It's just, oh, poor me. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't feel like there's any sympathy for Heidi or the baby. It's all for him. So let's see why the 5 of Cups is here again. Because of the 9 of Wands. So yeah, he's a baby. He's the 9 of Wands, which means he feels he's been beaten and battered in the relationship. But honestly, I feel like he's done that to her. So I want to see why the 6 of Cups is here. Okay, sorry. All right, so you have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the 4 of Cups upright, which means I think that morning he was bitching and complaining about money, and her, you know, she didn't want to hear it anymore. I think she was over it. You know, she had just had this baby. She was, exhausted. She was tired. She was trying to get the other one ready for school. She just did not care to hear it. I want to know why he was acting in the King of, see, he was being defensive, the Seven of Wands. He was defending his behavior with the King of Cups. So he felt like he was, like he needed to stand his ground and whatever. So I want to know what happened with the tire with the world, because I think that's where she passed. Why is there a tire image? What has to do with the tire? I don't know. It doesn't, the only thing I'm getting from it, whatever happened with the tire, I think is what, is when they killed her. Because she's coming now, right here, out of the Nine of Swords with it. And I think that's because she's had a chance to be on the other side and deal with it. So she's having a better chance to understand it. Let me see. I also want to know about domestic abuse within their house, because I feel he was domestically abusive. Physically. And probably, substancely, because you have the King of Wands, in reverse on top of the Nine of Swords. So, I think that he was very verbally abusive to her. I wouldn't be surprised if he would throw things at her, hit her, like come up to her and kind of buck up like he was going to do something. I think, I think he was very, I think he gaslighted her a lot. I think he was abusive. Mentally, physically, narcissistic. So you have the Eight of Swords. So with the Hermit, she's coming out of the Eight of Swords, which is great, because that means she's starting to accept the other side. She's taking off the mask. She's understanding where she is, and she's understanding, and that she's learning how to use her powers, basically. Because she has the Nine of Pentacles, the two choices she had to make, and now she has, the Two of Pentacles. Now she has the Nine of Pentacles, which means she made that choice, and she's moving forward with it, because she's going that direction. So the last question I asked is about the baby. She felt temperance in reverse for the baby. And the reason is because she wants a new opportunity. From what I heard, like I said, the baby is with the father. She does not want the baby with the father. She wants the baby with her mother. She does not think that he is capable of raising this child, and he was in on it. Like I said, I think him, Megan, and her boyfriend or husband or whatever he was, I think they were all in on it. So we're going to do the life purpose oracle. I always say it wrong. And see if she has anything to say to everybody. So let's go ahead and do that real quick for her. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe. We'd love to have you as a part of the Southern Soul Tarot family. I do a free reading every week for someone. I'm working on it now. I'm a little bit behind because I work in retail, but now that Christmas is over, we're ready. So practice. Polish your skills by practicing regularly. She is polishing her skills right now on how she wants to not only show her energy, but how she wants to get it to go into place. You know what? I'm actually going to ask a few more questions, because I want to know where in between the time they got her in Austin to Megan to her house in Austin, where was she killed? Yeah. These are the two cards that came out. This is one first. This is going to be the Nine of Pentacles. It's slow. Usually it's a good coming in energy. It is upright. But because the Nine of Pentacles brings in something, I think it's bringing in the Five of Swords. So they were ready to slay her, pretty much. They were ready to do what they had planned, and they were not going to move on from that. One other question. I want to know how Megan got the baby after she dropped her son off at school. How she got the baby in the car. Ace of Swords. This is air sign card, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. So somebody used their mind to kind of mind F her into getting this baby to come with her. So I don't know. I kind of feel like there was a car seat already in the car for the baby. So I feel like, I don't know if she saw Megan, or if she saw Heidi, like she was sitting outside of her apartments for her to get back, and then she convinced her to get into the car with her and she could go ahead and grab the baby since Shane had to go to work, you know, so that's what she went ahead and did. And that's why she didn't have her own car seat. But the death card came out right next to the Ace of Pentacles. So, or the Ace of Swords, I'm sorry. So, yeah, they were able to play with her mind because, of course, why would she expect her best friend at her front door to be odd? So I think they used that to their advantage, and that's how they were able to get her into the car. I think she was killed in the car. I think she was strangled, or they put her into the trunk and killed her once they got to where they were going. But either way, she had also asked me how many people were involved in putting her into the trunk of the car, and I'm going to say 2. The third person, I think, was taking care of other loose ends, was Shane. Shane was taking care of other loose ends. So I believe Heidi and, I'm sorry, not Heidi. I believe Megan and her husband are the one that put Heidi's body into the trunk. And I think Shane gave them the baby before he went to work. So I want to thank you for watching the reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, please do. Like I said, I do a free reading every week. Your first reading is 50% off, so you just email me with the code 333, and I will do a reading for you. I'll email you a code for the private playlist, and that will be where your reading will go to. So I want to thank you for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you know anybody else who you think might enjoy it, please share with them also. So thank you for watching the Southern Soul Tarot channel, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will also be doing the Zodiac Killer again, probably tonight, or yeah, I'm gonna be doing it tonight. So I will see y'all again in a bit. Y'all have a great night.